Nadis in the skull, the secret pranic center above the third eye. There is a secret in the skull, not the brain, not the pineal gland, but a soft, luminous center that whispers when all else falls silent. Above the third eye, beyond thought, a chamber of breathless stillness glows, invisible to science, yet known to mystics. This is not fiction, it is a subtle anatomical truth passed down through sacred yogic lineages, a center of convergence where the winds of energy pause, a point above the known and just below the unknown, a place where silence takes form. Tonight, we enter that space, the inner architecture of energy. To understand the secret center above the third eye, we must begin with the body's energy channels. Throughout the body runs an invisible web of energy flows, channels finer than nerves, untouched by surgery yet more fundamental than flesh. They are called energy pathways or currents. While thousands exist, 3 primary ones flow along the spine and up through the skull, the central channel, and 2 weaving counterparts, one linked to the lunar current and the other to the solar. But here's the hidden key. These channels do not simply stop at the third eye. They ascend. In ancient teachings, it is said that just above the space between the eyebrows, about an inch or 2 inward and slightly upward, there lies a chamber, a subtle sanctuary, where energy from the body, breath, and thought converges before dissolving into pure awareness. This is the secret pranic center above the third eye, where breath ceases and awareness begins. In advanced meditative states, the breath becomes so refined it appears to stop. What actually happens is that the winds of the body, the subtle movements of vital force, begin rising upward. They pass through the third eye region, but do not end there. They spiral up into the dome of the skull. There they rest. Practitioners have described this space as a pranic sky, an internal expanse above the brow where awareness feels suspended, weightless, pure. It is not a point of thinking, but of knowing, not a space of vision, but of presence. And in this presence, many have reported spontaneous visions of light, soft white, violet, or radiant gold, appearing like a pulsing orb or flickering flame. This chamber is not physical, but it has a location, not metaphorical, but subtle. It can be felt, what modern science has yet to see. Now let's pause for a moment and ask, could this subtle pranic center correspond to any known physical structure? Some might speculate about the pineal gland, the thalamus, or the corpus callosum, but this center is not defined by tissue or neurons. It is defined by silence, and silence leaves no biological footprint. It is possible that this chamber overlaps with areas responsible for spatial orientation, internal awareness, or even non-dual cognition, but it cannot be captured in fMRI scans or dissected under a microscope. Its power is experiential, its reality is lived, and that makes it more precise than any theory. How to awaken the secret center. You do not need to believe in energy pathways to feel them. You only need stillness. Here is a practice to begin. 1. Sit in total stillness, spine upright, neck gently extended, chin slightly lowered, as if holding a thread from crown to tailbone. 2. Close your eyes and bring awareness to the breath, just below the nose, then into the chest, and gradually toward the point between the eyebrows. 3. Gently lift your attention, as if your inner eyes are looking not outward, but slightly upward and inward. 4. Do not strain. Instead, relax more deeply. Allow breath to slow. You are not trying to find the center. You are listening for it. 5. As the breath becomes subtle, you may notice a sensation of lightness, of being drawn upward. Allow it. Let the breath become like vapor. The more still you become, the more the winds settle upward into that center. Eventually they pause. And in that pause, light appears, not visual, but inner, not projected, but arising. This is the glow of the secret center. The power of silence in the skull. Why does this matter? Because the convergence point above the third eye is not simply a mystical curiosity. It is a gateway where thinking ceases, where effort dissolves, where the mind surrenders its grasp and floats, weightless, into spacious awareness. In deep meditation, when breath has slowed and thoughts have stopped, the practitioner begins to hover within this space. It is not sleep. It is not concentration. It is a lucid stillness. And in that stillness, true insight dawns, not intellectual but direct, not thought about truth, but truth itself. This is why the great yogis never spoke lightly of breath or posture. Every bend of the spine, every quiet moment was oriented toward awakening this inner sanctuary. Signs you've entered the center. How do you know you've entered this space? 1. Time vanishes. You may come out of meditation and be surprised at how much time passed, or how little. 2. Body awareness fades. There is no weight, no boundary, only a hovering stillness. 3. A pulsing or radiant pressure. Not discomfort, but a light presence in the crown or just above the brow. 4. Gentle flashes of light. They may be brief and random, or rhythmic and deeply calming. 5. No desire to move. Not because you're frozen, but because movement feels unnecessary. Stillness becomes natural. This is the body listening to itself and the soul recognizing home. Mystical reflection. Above the third eye lies a temple with no walls. It does not open through effort, but through surrender. It does not belong to any religion, any method, or any name. It is the sky inside the skull, the point where the inner breath pauses, where the current of life lifts upward and disappears into light. When you enter this center, even for a moment, you will understand something that no book can teach, that stillness is not the absence of motion. It is the revelation of what never moved, and in that realization, you will know the presence that was waiting, always, just above the brow. If this journey opened something in you, I invite you to explore deeper practices through this channel. Subscribe to stay connected to future sacred teachings, and if you feel called to support this work, not as a follower, but as a guardian of light, consider becoming a member. It helps sustain the creation of these teachings and honors the ancient wisdom we walk together. The next transmission will open the door even further. Coming next, the Fifth State Beyond Turiya. Is it possible?